watched what happened at Katrina, which was really, really tragic. But because I knew what the system's like, nothing that happened in Katrina I couldn't have predicted, you know. And so that's why I'm talking too. So we want to change that. One possible reason are peculiar minds. We have very strange things called our mind. How many people have seen a sunrise and a sunset? How many people know the...
Sunset?
Huh? Yeah, a sunrise and sunset. How many people know the Earth revolves? How many people have seen a sunrise and a sunset? Yeah, but we live our lives as if the sun rises and the sun sets. It doesn't. We're moving around the Earth. The history of women. How many people know that not so long ago, women weren't considered fit for the presidency? Not so long ago.
Still intact.
Yeah. Yeah, women have had a terrible time throughout history, not being able to vote, being second-class citizens, etc., etc., etc. Other races have had considerable problems as well. So our minds think very strange and awkward things that it shouldn't, but it does it anyway. Reason number two is we live our lives as if the sun, as we live our lives as the sun rises and sets, we think our planet is solid. It isn't going to, it's not moving, it's not fluid, it doesn't change. Mountains haven't come up and disappeared, all that stuff. So we imagine, our peculiar mind thinks that nothing's going to go on. Nothing's going to happen. Right? Yeah, okay. The third is, in California, a disaster doesn't happen that often. Well, it does happen, but it's not as frequent. If we lived in Florida, they're prepared for a hurricane because it happens every year. But we're not preparing for an earthquake because it happens every 100 years, 50 years, whatever. The significant, like the 1906 earthquake, I'm talking about. The big one, you know, the level things. So because it doesn't happen so often, we kind of ignore it and don't think it's good. Nothing's going to happen. One of the biggest reasons is, number 4 is, it's somebody else's job. It's the administrator here, or it's the American Red Cross, or it's the Office of Emergency Services, or it's the police, or it's the fire. You know, it's not our job to prepare ourselves. And the first responders, American Red Cross, and all those people will I've been in meeting after meeting where they'll sit there and go, you know, you really need to plan, you really need to get your supplies, and the next question will be, well, what are you going to do for us? You know, what is the city going to do? And it's a matter of numbers. How many people live in Sonoma County? You all do. The whole population is about how much? It's 500,000. There's 500,000. There's approximately 2,000 to 5,000 first responders for those 500,000. So the problem with Sonoma County is it's expensive and people live out of the area. When a disaster hits, the first responders may not be here. They might be on vacation. They're going to be involved with infrastructure. They're going to be involved with organizing shelters and things like that. They're not going to be able to be and serve 500,000 people. But every one of us thinks that there's a first responder that's going to come to our door and pull us out. They're going to have, if we have wheelchairs, do they think we're going to have they're going to have a wheelchair? They're going to have our medication. Even if we don't even know what our medication is, they're going to have it. You know, we think that way. We have a very peculiar mind. upsetting to me. You know, what is needed is a cultural shift. We need to begin thinking as if we are responsible for our own safety during a disaster. During the 2004 tsunami in Indonesia, the Moken, is a tribe of boat people. Elephants and dolphins survived. We don't know how the elephants and dolphins survived, but they split. They got the heck out of there. Dolphins swam into the deep ocean, and the elephants stampeded up the mountainside. The Moken had old stories of when the water receded, and so they knew enough to get out of there. 100,000 people died because they didn't know they had to leave. So we need our own stories. Like if Rose is able to communicate with whoever, the police or whatever during this, you'll become a story, and a very important story. You know, you need to have a ham radio in a facility like this, so you can communicate. I was going to say, what does it mean to be prepared? We'll talk a little bit about that. What do you think it means to be prepared? Just out of curiosity.
Security.
Have your stuff ready.
Everything you need.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. So we want to work a little bit on your plan today. And do you want to have that feeling? See, I can't force you to feel a particular way. So do you want to have that feeling of security and safety and community? Because this is what we're really talking about, is bringing your community together to just help each other and support each other. Do you want that? So that's something you need. That's something you need to carry with you. Ask that question to yourself. Okay, before we get into your plan, we're doing okay. Recommendations. I carry with me a whistle. The neat thing about disaster preparedness, if you prepare for a big disaster, it'll help you during when the lights go out. It'll help you when you're being attacked or abused or whatever, because it'll help you if you fall down. And if you have a whistle chained to that walker, you can call for help. You can call for help a lot longer than you can shout. So I carry a whistle. I also carry all my medications. If you're in a disaster, one of the most important things, if you take anybody take medication in here? Okay.
I have a question when you have a question.
Yes.
In a move, my survival things got this late. I don't have a whistle. I have a flashlight, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I don't have a whistle.
Right.
And I've been trying to get my family to give me one, and they seem to miss. I need a whistle.
When's your birthday?
I used to, so I have to depend on a whistle.
Yeah.
Whistle for your birthday.
Yeah. Christmas is coming up. You know, your birthday's coming up. Ask for whistles. Ask for. Okay. Where did my light go? No, I put my light. I carry a light, and it works. Oh, test your equipment every time you change your clocks. Although we don't change our clocks necessarily anymore. But every time the time changes, test your batteries and all that kind of stuff. That's a little tip.
If you get the crank-up flashlight too.
Huh?
You can get the crank-up flashlight.
That's right.
You don't have to change the battery.
Yeah, I have some of those. Okay, here's something. What am I doing? It's a disaster. Okay, so I like to have things with me that make me laugh. So if a disaster, like you were talking about stress, so if you have your equipment, in your equipment you have pictures, of your family, people you love, something that makes you laugh, that will trigger your mind, procure your mind to relax a little bit. So when I pull this out, and why would I pull this out in a disaster?
Make
you laugh.
Make me laugh, number one. Number two, if a disaster strikes, more than likely there's going to be a lot of dust.
Yeah.
So you want to go like that. And that'll be your mask. Okay, I'll straighten it out there. Okay, what else? Cash. So I have, besides my wallet, I have this little bag of cash. You can also beat people with it. Audience and stuff like that. They get nasty. So I have my wallet and with large bills, and I keep cash so I don't want to buy a bottle of water for $100, if you know what I mean. And keep at least a half a tank of gas in your car. Never let it go below half a tank. Okay? Everybody knows why.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you know everything. Did someone raise up their hand? No? No? Okay. Okay. Okay, you have a whole lot of resources at your disposal. You have the DP for VP, you have the American Red Cross, you have the two Bills. Everybody know Bill Hammerman and Bill Paxton? Yes. Yeah. There's a wonderful CERT, if you do CERT classes, and if you would do the COPE trainings. I think this is the most important CD on the planet, actually. Everything that I'm talking about, they say a whole lot better, and it's more visual. So you can put this in your computer or watch it on TV. You can do your own presentations yourself. You can give it to your family and say, hey, you need to get prepared. I'm worried about you if something were to happen. So you have this and this guy. Okay, am I going too fast?
No.
Oh, okay, can everybody hear me so far?
Yes.
You're squinting your eyes. You're okay? Yeah, okay. So there's COPE and CERT. Two bills. Oh, the DP for VP materials, everything in the yellow packet is on, anybody ever hear of the intranet here? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you type in DP for VP, up will pop our materials, and you'll see all that kind of stuff. And maybe if this presentation goes well, we'll be on the website. We'll see. Okay. So what kind of community do you want to live? What is your contribution? I'd like to ask you that question. Would you like to be able to go out here after a disaster and enjoy yourself? Play music, play cards. One of the things that I have in my pack is dice and cards, and books and all this kind of stuff. So, do you think that's something you would like?
Good idea.
Yeah, would be neat. And what could your contribution be? Oh, this is where I think we're going to get into your plan. In a plan, you have strengths, right?
You kind of left out ID. Should you not have your own ID on you in case you were not out there?
Yeah,
Okay, that wasn't on your list.
I know. But I figure you're smart. That's true. If you look in the materials, you're going to find your insurance papers. You should have a whole bunch of things, of personal things. So strengths.